How's it going, Exo Fighters? Hope you're having a blast with the game and you're enjoying the launch. Exoprimal is proving to be quite a fun ride and it really only gets better the more you play, but the tutorials to it and some mechanics are not exactly easy to learn, so in this video I'll give you 5 tips that should give you a good head start if you're just starting the game or you already have a few hours in it. If you're interested in more guides and news for Exoprimal, consider subscribing and check out the rest of my channel. So first and possibly the most important tip for Exoprimal is to keep playing. This might not be necessary to hear for everyone, but a lot of people are discouraged by the simplicity of the game at first, but you need to know that Exoprimal has a very long tutorial and campaign basically forced at the player and you don't have the full game and all of its game modes unlocked. You have to keep playing the game, and as you unlock further cutscenes and story pieces in your archive, you will slowly unlock new game modes, dinosaurs, and even the Neosaurs in the boss fights, and they make the game so much better, trust me. This is really important to understand as the game has a traditional Japanese design and they like to hold your hands to slowly learn the game and feed you the content and unlock parts piece by piece, but the game does get significantly better and also a lot harder, so keep playing, enjoy the introduction, and the rest will come. Second tip is to don't be afraid or don't be stubborn to switch your exosuits. I know we're living in a world where everyone likes to main things and have a main focus, but Exoprimal first does not have a role-based matchmaking, so you can get duplicate exosuits very easily in your games, and second, not every exosuit is great for all situations. Fortunately, you can swap your exosuits anytime in combat or out of combat, and in fact you should be doing this in case you want to get the best results. Especially at the beginning, you usually get very easy missions and waves where you just have to kill a couple hundred raptors, which is really not that challenging, and for example, these waves highly favor you having a bunch of assault exosuits to get to the next levels fast. Or you can also have an area defense mission where playing with melee exosuits might not be the best course of action unless you aim to piss off your teammates and constantly leave the zone, since it slows down your mission completion timer, so ranged exosuits are the best for those missions. Maybe the most significant advantage of switching though is when the enemy team invades you with a Dominator. I found that switching to a tank roadblock was the greatest impact in all of my games, as Dominators usually just wreck unprepared teams, but with good tanks you can really catch the invading player off guard and get rid of their dinosaur in no time. So basically, experiment with different exosuits in different missions and don't be too stubborn to switch. Eventually, you will have them all leveled up anyway. Next one is about modules, and I already have a guide video about this, but I feel this is quite important for new players. When you go to your exosuits, you will find your modules or your talent tree where you can equip 3 different modules to boost your exosuits. The non-class specific general white modules are universal, and by purchasing them you will unlock them for all of your suits, so make sure to invest into 3 as soon as possible because they're not only cheap, but they can also have easy boosts such as 5% damage reduction or reload speed increase that will give you big advantage to certain characters, so don't be afraid to spend a bit of coins here. Along with the general talents, your class talents also have hidden modifiers as you buy them, and the further levels will add more effects to them, so those underwhelming class talents actually become quite amazing by level 5, so unlock the first level and always check what the added bonuses are. Now this tip I decided to add based on my experience in games, as a lot of players are not used to it yet, but watch your objectives. As Leviathan gives you new missions each wave, the objective will appear on top under the scoreboard and it will tell you what you need to do. Sounds obvious, right? But I've seen a lot of players ignore looking at these for a long time, and it's important to note that just because it was, let's say, kill 200 raptors and 5 flying dinos, it doesn't mean you will get only 200 raptors. But those dinosaurs will keep coming and coming endlessly, and your mission will only end if you complete all of the criteria given above. I've actually lost a few games or even won because of them, as a lot of teams tend to ignore, especially later when the game gets way harder and there are so many dinosaurs on the screen that the sniper dinosaurs in the back just get ignored and missions are never completed. So always watch your objectives, as the game wants you to miss them and keep distracting you by hordes of other little dinosaurs and delay your progression, but hunting the targets you need will help your team a lot. Now admittedly, I mostly play this game with the PvE option, as I don't care much for the PvP final missions, but I imagine this tip goes the same over there too. Dominators are a very weird mechanic I don't necessarily like. They are very powerful, a bit out of place, and not very fun in my opinion, but they have a massive effect on games and it is important to use them well. If you're on the losing side, it might be really tempting to use your Dominator immediately as they give it to you and invade the enemy team. but there isn't a greater mistake you can do, to the point I'm confused why Capcom even gives the Dominators so early in the first place. It's more of a disadvantage and a trap to new players than helping them. Dominators can be very useful, but only if the enemy team isn't fully prepared for you, and even if you pick it up, you don't have to use it immediately. It won't go away, just wait for later missions, and I will tell you why. If you use the Dominators straight away, you will be attacking a team that's greatest threat are 100 Raptors and a few Pachycephalosaurus maybe, and your Dominator will be an easy target and will be destroyed without you accomplishing anything. You should be waiting until the enemy team gets to a wave where you know they are fighting at least one boss dinosaur like a T-Rex or something more aggressive like a Carnotaurus, which are already difficult themselves, and then combine your powers when the Dominator will be the most destructive, and if you do well, you can even reset their missions with a complete wipeout. So be patient and use Dominators when there are hard waves happening and not on the easy ones. But those are my 5 important tips for beginners for Exoprimal, everyone. I find all of these really important, and they at least made me enjoy the game way more or helped me the most. But if you have any additional tips you found really helpful, share them with the others so we can all learn together. I think Exoprimal is a great game with huge potential already, even if the launch isn't perfect, but it's certainly not the disaster some people are trying to convince others of, and I hope you're all enjoying the game. We just need to give as much feedback to Capcom as possible. They seem to be very open to them already, and the game will get even better. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe for future ones, but that's a wrap for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all the next time.